Well, welcome to the BayREN Codes and Standards Program's June 5th Regional Forum. Today we're going to be talking about the conundrums and successes we encounter in the decarbonization of existing commercial buildings in the region. We're going to get into a great panel, some great discussions in just a moment. But as we get started, I just want to introduce myself and my colleagues who've been putting together today's forum. We have Ryan Melendez from Napa County and Emily Alvarez from representing Alameda County or stopwaste.org. And they'll introduce themselves more fully later. But let's also talk a little bit about BayREN, just in case you're not familiar. Now experimenting with advancing my slide. Oh, hey. Too good at this, apparently. So BayREN, if you're new to it, is a collaboration of the 9 counties serving the Bay Area. It's coordinated by the Association of Bay Area Governments, and it addresses improvement in local government capacity, carbon reduction, and promoting healthy and efficient building stock in very comprehensive in ways that have grown over time. The programs run by BayREN have delivered energy efficiency retrofits, improving comfort and performance for more than 66,000 housing units around the Bay Area, and saving more than 150 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions. Next slide, please, over the last 10 years. Oh, and I'm going to advance the slides. That's done through a suite of programs that have been expanding recently. That's why you see the new signs on this slide. So our long-running programs include serving single family, addressing multifamily efficiency, improving and motivating energy performance by supporting labeling and transparency, business programs we're going to hear some details about later today, water efficiency programs that save energy substantially in the process in collaboration with regional water agencies, and our new programs addressing opportunities for reducing GHG emissions and improving energy performance through small commercial grocery refrigeration replacement and maintenance, providing workforce development opportunities for people to enter the green jobs and workforce. 2 new programs seeking to accelerate and expand decarbonization and energy performance improvements in public facilities. And then today's program is brought to you by our codes program. And next slide, please. The Codes and Standards program has been around for since 2013, and it supports both development and implementation of tools, of training, of policies for both improving compliance with and also really motivating or requiring performance better than the statewide energy standards. Next slide, please. We regularly offer energy code trainings. They primarily target building department personnel. They're generally 60 to 90 minutes in length. They do come with ICC continuing education units to help maintain your licenses and certifications. And the upcoming ones include a review of how the HERS register works and how to work with it, as well as a broad survey of how to operate the energy code. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our website. Additionally, we have a number of on-demand resources we just want to make sure you're aware of, including trainings that you can watch at any time to understand the fundamentals of how heat pumps are treated and with HVAC and residential water heating and energy code. We have a cheat sheet, if you will, to really simplify reference to all of the different codes that it can apply when installing a heat pump water heater. A load estimator that can really be helpful in managing a single family residential electrical panel that's derived from the relevant sections of the California Electric Code. Permit guides on other details of energy performance and best practices in common projects, but particularly how they relate to the energy code and what portions of the energy code, what does the energy code require for window replacements and re-roofing. And then any forum like we're doing today is recorded and posted publicly, so you can watch this again at your leisure if you'd like to go over some details. As you know, we're in a Zoom meeting. If your camera isn't already active, you don't need it. So we do ask two things. We have both the chat and the Q&A functions open. The purpose of the chat is to chat with other, you can chat with panelists, but generally with other participants. If you have questions that you would hope get discussed in our Q&A sections, please consistently post those to the Q&A, because that's where we're going to be monitoring for questions to inform our discussion. We will break and have a Q&A after each of our two panel discussions. If you are new to Zoom, just hover over the control bar and you can see the chat button to activate the chat, and you can see the Q&A button to activate the Q&A. Click them again, it will hide either one of those, and you can raise your hand via the tool in the middle of the toolbar, and we may be able to give you the option to ask a question via audio. You still wouldn't have your camera on, and we have more than 200 folks registered today, so we may or may not be able to accommodate you. So we really do encourage you to put your question in writing in the Q&A. Both my comments and the views that are expressed by the presenters don't represent the Association of Bay Area Governments or the BayREN program itself, nor any of the participating jurisdictions, other than, I suppose, if we're individually commenting on behalf of our jurisdiction. If you have questions about the views and information in the presentations, please do direct it to the authors. And as artificial intelligence tools are becoming more common, we do know that some software does support automatic transcription. We do not currently have a specific policy for that. So we are, at the moment, prohibiting the use of AI note-taking services, including that feature here in Zoom. Please don't use that during the forum. Again, all the content is fully recorded and publicly posted, so there's really no need. And really just want to underscore this, because it is our most frequently asked question. Absolutely, we're recording everything and posting everything, and you could watch any of it or read it without audio at any time within a few days of this forum. Next slide. Today, we're going to have two panel discussions. So we're in the midst of hearing a little bit about BayREN itself. Then we're going to pivot to really diving into some great experts we're looking forward to hearing from about how to opportunities to improve efficiency and decarbonize, and what the challenges can be in a commercial kitchen environment. Then we'll look a little more broadly at commercial building stock in general, particularly both large and small buildings, and ask what sorts of motivations are there for private sector leadership, policy activity, and what incentives are available to help people decarbonize existing commercial buildings. We'll wrap up, and there will be a survey at the end of the forum we'll ask you to complete. And now I'd like to introduce my colleagues around the Bay Area. And so I'm going to ask you individually to introduce yourself, and then in the spirit of today's forum, tell us what types of commercial space characterize the county that you serve. And we'll start with Emily, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Alvarez. I'm a program manager at Stop Waste, who is the Alameda County representative for BayREN. Alameda County has a really diverse commercial sector, which I'm sure you'll hear as a theme across the other county leads as well. I'm calling in right now from our downtown Oakland area, from our office, but we also have, really large shopping centers and hotels in Emeryville, and a lot of historic small-scale downtowns, especially, in the Tri-Valley, such as Pleasanton. And so when we think about the commercial sector, you need a lot of different approaches to handle these types of buildings. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Adam, tell us a little bit about Contra Costa County.
Sorry. Thanks, Barry, and good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Scarborough, and I'm a sustainability planner with Contra Costa County. Our county can be characterized by having an abundance of retail and office space dispersed throughout the county. particularly along transit corridors such as BART and our freeways. And then we also have business parks and a lot of heavy industry concentrated along the northern waterfront. So yeah, that's kind of a quick snapshot.
Thanks. Hi, Kellen. Good morning.
Morning. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so my name is Kellen Damon. I'm with Marin County. And Marin, yeah, we're lacking in kind of high rises, but we do have some commercial that folks might not be aware of, mostly around the downtowns, small retail and restaurants, a lot of those, and a couple of warehouse districts with some manufacturing spattered in. So like Emily said, pretty big diversity of businesses, business types, just not too many because we're mostly a residential county.
Thank you. Alero, can you tell us a little bit about the commercial stock in San Mateo County?
Yeah, good morning, Alera Moju, County of San Mateo Sustainability Department. So at first glance, you would think that it would be our strip malls and maybe some of our restaurants, but we do have quite a few tech campuses. But aside from office space, we have like over 25 million square feet of life sciences buildings. So that was something really interesting and cool that I wanted to share with you all today.
Wow. Thank you. Tanya, tell us about Santa Clara County.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tanya Vita, Senior Sustainability Analyst with the County of Santa Clara Office of Sustainability's Sustainability and Resilience Office. And I'm excited to also share that I'm the Santa Clara County rep for BayREN. But in Santa Clara County, we have everything from small retail and food spaces equaling to 1,000 square feet to large tech campuses, warehouses, agricultural processing centers, and many more that are hundreds and thousands of square feet in our county. I'll pass it off to the next one. Thanks.
Thanks, Tanya. Nandi, tell us about Solano County.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nandi Loggins Glover, and I am one of your Solano County reps. And in Solano County, we cater to a mass amount of different commercial buildings. These commercial building types include office buildings, retail centers, industrial facilities, healthcare facilities, and mixed-use developments. These buildings cater to various business needs, such as office, retail stores, warehouse, hotels, restaurants, schools, entertainment venues, financial institutions, automotive services, and government buildings. So basically all that means in Solano County is depending on what city you are in, we have different commercial buildings catering to different needs in the county. Thank you all.
Christine, tell us about the characteristics of Sonoma County, please.
Good morning. Just like all the other counties in the Bay Area, there's lots of diversity in the commercial building stock. Sonoma County has many commercial office buildings, restaurants, lots of food service, retail, and then industrial process facilities, including wineries and breweries, hotels, healthcare, schools, public buildings, and then food and other types of manufacturing.
Thank you. And just wrapping up, I think of San Francisco as being characterized by, the iconic large office buildings you see downtown and retail facilities, as well as small neighborhood retail, in particular being a fundamental feature of the city. And with that, I appreciate it, Karen, if you could introduce yourself.
I'm going to pass it to Ryan first for Napa County.
Oh, excuse me.
No worries. Good morning, everyone. I am Ryan Melendez, a sustainability planner with Napa County and the Napa County rep for BayREN. And I'll go with the stereotype of Napa County with our large agricultural centers here, and then the wineries and large agricultural buildings. And then within the jurisdictions within the county, we also have a lot of small scale retail, mostly restaurants and retail shops. We do also have a kind of a larger warehouse and kind of large commercial building section in the south part of the county as you're getting closer to the main parts of the bay. But yeah, mostly wineries and small retail. So good to be here. And I mostly work with a a lot of the residential programs. I'm excited to hear some of the conundrums and successes as we get into the commercial buildings. So,
Thank you.
All right, so I'm Karen Christensen. I'm with ABAG MTC, and I lead the Codes and Standards program that's hosting this forum. And you know, we've just heard there's such a wide variety of commercial buildings in our 9-county Bay areas, from the wineries, the strip malls, the life science buildings. We've got small ones and large ones and the whole thing. So this is a really complex sector to approach. And I'll just turn it back over to Barry to get started. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Karen. Apologize to those at home. There's a little lag when I advance the slide. So today, pivoting to our content, we're looking forward to digging into what does it mean to decarbonize commercial buildings, and really, again, looking at a range of both applications, focusing in on what we think is one of the more challenging sectors to decarbonize, the commercial food sector, as well as zooming out to larger buildings and the complex, both financial and technical issues that need to be navigated to move them through the energy transition, as well as we think some bright spots for a small commercial and some potentially some straightforward opportunities and rebates that are available to motivate that improvement. When I pause, I'm attempting to advance a slide. There we go. So the drivers, when we talk about policies motivating energy performance improvement, also when we talk about private sector leadership and incentive programs, really we have three major fundamentals: that the combustion of natural gas is a major source of pollution, a greater source of air pollution and criteria air pollutants, which does directly impact the health and well-being of Bay Area residents, as well as residents downwind of the Bay Area in the Central Valley. That combustion from natural gas appliances is actually a much greater source of air pollution these days than passenger vehicles. There's the direct hazard of having a flammable and potentially explosive material piped systematically through our building stock, when our region is famously situated on a number of active fault lines, and the consequences of that. And then last, public health. Then we're going to really look in a bit about hot water and really the essential need and why we use, one of the main reasons we use natural gas currently so broadly. If we look at the building stock in our region, let's say we just zoom in on one city, for example, San Francisco, we see an interesting distribution where the vast majority of commercial buildings in the city are less than 10,000 square feet in size, so they're relatively small. But the vast majority of the floor area and the energy consumption of that building stock is in the larger buildings, 50,000 square feet and larger. The scales do look different, as my colleagues alluded to, as you travel to other counties around the Bay Area. But this distribution actually ends up being pretty similar. That larger buildings, there are a smaller number of larger buildings, and they tend to have a disproportionate impact just because the energy demand of building, particularly commercial building, all things being equal, scales with its size. And so that we need to look at both ends of the spectrum, both the helping the many and helping really have the biggest impact on energy performance. And so to do that, I'm going to hand the discussion over to my colleague, Emily, who will introduce our next panel.